I'm going to show you how you can set up a browse tab for the mini extensions portal. So by default, the portal will show the logged in user records that they're linked to. So what I mean by this is if my user box here logs into my portal, they get to see this record, this record, this record, this record, etc. But they don't get to see the other records that don't belong to them. This is where that browse tab comes in. Using the browse tab, you can show your users records that they are not linked to. So let's go ahead and log in here. So you'll notice here there are now two tabs up top. The first tab is what you're used to, which is the collection of records that are linked to the current user. So every record I see here is linked to that user box. But now there's a second tab. The second tab is any records I want to show to the user. Those can be linked to them, not linked to them, whatever it is, and they can be sorted and filtered using views, for example. So what you're looking at here, those filters, every one of those filters is actually an Airtable view. So if I go into Airtable here, you'll see those views that you saw there over here. And the goal really is to be able to show them all of the records or whatever records you want to show to that person who's logged in. Now, the reason we did this is because there is a feature in the portal that allows the currently logged in user to link themselves to a record. I'm not going to show you how you would set it up, but I will show you how you can use it. So to set up and see the full directions of on the full information about this feature, follow this URL right here, linking records in mini extensions portal. But I'll just give a quick demo here. The goal of this feature is the user gets a button. If they click that button, they link themselves to that record they're looking at. So this record right here, for example, let's go and find it in Airtable. You'll see that box is not linked to it, right? Let's go ahead and click on this button right here, get a quick loading, and then we go over here, you see that box is now linked to it. So the button just works as a way to link yourself and unlink yourself. If I unlink myself here, go back here, you'll see that the box record is no longer linked. And of course, if I link a record and I go back to my favorites, I'll find that record in my personal tab. And you get to customize the title for both of the state when you're adding the linked record and the state when you're moving. So both of those are just completely customizable. You get to do whatever you want with them. Again, if you want to learn more about this feature, just follow the directions in this URL. Now I'm going to show you how you would set up the Browse tab feature. So I've showed you here the Browse tab for the grid. This feature exists on both the grid and the cards variation of the portal. I'm going to walk here through the steps for the cards variation, but they're exactly the same. So the setup for the grid and the cards is exactly the same. So let's go ahead and go through to the view records section here. By the way, if you have not set up your portal, just follow the video up here to find the exact steps on how to set up your full portal. I'm just going to expect that you've already done that. So let's go down here, click on advanced, and go to this browse tab section. And let's just, for starters, let's just enable it and just click save and go check out that portal. So I'm going to log in here. You'll see those two tabs up here. By default, the tab will just show the user, all the records in your table. But let's go ahead and add a search bar to it. So if I add a search bar here and then go back, you'll see here that I can type something. So I can say, let's say I can do this, right? I can just filter through these records. Let's try to add those views that you saw earlier. So if I only add one view, so this lookup view right here, let's see what it has. I think it either has no records or only one record. Let's see. It has one record on it. So you'll notice that there's no filters if there's only one view that you picked. But the idea here is if you only pick one view, you just get to filter out the records specifically to one Airtable view. Now, if I pick multiple, you'll see those filters that you saw earlier on top, those little buttons on top. So those are the filters right here. And I can click between them and just filter and sort those records. Last thing here is the profile tab title and the browse tab title. So by default, you'll see this little icon right here and this little word right here. But I can say like my records and let's say all records. And just go ahead and save here and go back. There you go.